Welcome back, guys, to another episode here of Off Air with Alex, the show all about a peek behind the scenes of your favorite celebrities, influencers, journalists, politicians, and I think we have kind of an all-around influencer media type gal with us today. One of my dear friends, Celina Pompeani, joining us from Pittsburgh, from her beautiful home in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Celina, you do so much stuff, so thanks for giving us a few moments of your time today.
I'm so excited to be joining you. Thank you for having me, Alex.
Of course. And so Celina and I, by the way, for those of you who care to know, we went to school together at Point Park University back in 2013? Is that when we graduated?
I can't even remember now.
I'm so old. 2013, I think, is when it was, all those years ago. And she's been working for KDKA off and on and working for the Pens as well, the Penguins out there. So if you know Pittsburgh sports or news, Celina's a name you should probably know or get to know if you don't already know it. But Celina, walk us through what you do now. You do a lot of spokesperson type stuff and still some news things for kind of a morning talk show at KDKA. What does a normal day look like for a busy young media girl like yourself?
Oh, yes. So it's funny, Alex. Recently, December 24th, Christmas Eve, was my last morning doing traffic. So I've been at KDKA since now 2017, and I first started as a traffic reporter in the morning. So I would be up at 2 a.m. doing that crazy morning shift. And it was awesome. It was really fun. It was great experience. My favorite part about that was learning how to ad lib because, with traffic, it's similar to weather. You don't have your scripts with you. You rely on graphics. So I loved what traffic and that traffic role taught me. But when I was at KDKA, I started doing live shots for their morning entertainment show, Pittsburgh Today Live. And you know that show very well, Alex.
I do know that show very well.
When did you intern there?
I think it was 2011 or 2012, maybe a year before graduation. You and I overlapped, though, a little bit.
Yes, we overlapped, but I remember Jill Neely, the producer, loved you because you're such a good writer. I remember how much of a help you were. But yeah, PTL is so much fun. So I realized while I was doing traffic still that I really loved PTL. I loved the fun of that show and the live shots, everything was different, but it's all good news. And for the last maybe 1 to 2 years now, I've really been thinking, how could I just transition one day into PTL only? That's exactly what I want to do. So Christmas Eve was my last day on traffic. And it's nice because since a lot of people still are working from home, there really wasn't much traffic to report on anyway. So it was a pretty smooth transition. And so my schedule now is so much nicer. I wake up at a normal time, like 6 or 7. And I do Pittsburgh Today Live, but I'm a freelancer. So that's one of 4 jobs right now, my 4 main jobs. So Pittsburgh Today Live, I still work for the Pittsburgh Penguins, but I have not been back. So as soon as we get more fans into the building, hopefully I'll be back as the in-game host. And then I'm also a spokesperson for a company called Armina Stone. They have great countertops. You got to check them out. And then there's a great fitness brand called Walk at Home, Walk Productions. I do a lot of work for them, producing videos, hosting videos. So it's been a lot of fun. My day-to-day schedule is very different every day.
Well, it sounds like you're kind of piecing together all these different talents and skills and kind of making a cohesive career out of all of them together, right? What's it like for someone who maybe wants to get into media? Maybe you start in news because that's kind of the most accessible way to do it, like we've both done. For someone who wants to get into what you do and more of the less hard, the more fun entertainment lifestyle side, what does someone have to do to get where you are?
Yeah, I know you and I remember at Point Park, we always loved anything entertainment, whether it was in a class or doing our UView station. We had, what did we do? Pomp and Tomp?
We did something really funny. We had a funny name for everything because your last name is so easily moldable to a fun name. But yes, we loved entertainment stuff with Gina. Remember Gina, our teacher?
Oh my gosh. So Like you said, though, I still think, I mean, there's so many different ways to break into it, but you and I both went the same route, and we went right to a smaller market into hard news reporting. And I started at WTOV9 in Steubenville, Ohio, and Wheeling, West Virginia, that market area. And that's where I got my first taste of what it was like, to be on TV and to be a one-man band, which is, shooting, editing, fronting all of your own content. But it was there when I realized I definitely wanted to maybe go into that direction of entertainment, but I wasn't sure really how to get there. So that's when the opportunity with the Pittsburgh Penguins came about. And I was so excited. And not many people know this, but I auditioned for the in-game host. This was months before I started working there, but they actually went with somebody else. They gave it to somebody else. So I did not get the job at first.
Oh, wow.
But I know. And I was so bummed. I was like, that's okay. It wasn't meant to be. And then the person they hired ended up leaving, and they called me back for another audition. So that was just good timing. I mean, it didn't work out the first go around, but I think if I didn't have that experience working at a small market in hard news, producing all of my own content, the Penguins gig never would have happened, because I needed all of that experience to work at the Penguins. So I still think the way we went is a good way to get into it.
And you did shoot all your own stuff with the Penguins and do a lot of your own editing at the Penguins too, right?
Yeah, everything. I edited everything myself.
I think it's really interesting. It's a great point you bring up. A lot of people might see, your fun social media, glamorous looking stuff now, and think, oh God, she's got it made. But even for someone like you who've got great connections with media in Pittsburgh, you had to go to that small town and pay your dues too. What's that like for someone who maybe is wondering, what kind of things am I looking at to get into news? This isn't just a walk up to the desk and start doing anchoring today type job.
Oh, not at all. And really, I mean, you have to, if an anchor position is what you want to go for, you really have to put in your time learning the whole business and reporting on the street, getting the experience of, it's so hard, I feel like, in any market, even bigger markets where you have a photographer. Most stations in the country, across the country, are one-man bands now. So yeah, I remember I had so many funny stories. I could tell you so many, Alex, of
Well,
me.
I have that one whenever you had to do the weather and start doing reading weather because the weather graphics or the weather girl wasn't ready.
That was brutal.
I almost want to show it. We won't show it to embarrass you, but the gist of the video for people watching
Alex.
is Celina had to step in and read about rain, and it was the funniest 30 seconds of TV ever.
It was terrible. And I was looking at the wrong camera the whole time. That made it even worse. I'm looking this way.
It was like a profile of your face the whole time.
Terrible. Alex, I give you full permission to show anything you want about that clip.
Severe Weather Team 9 forecast.
All right, guys, we just wanted to let you know we're having some technical difficulties right now with our weather graphics and with some of our control equipment. So Mary Hours, our meteorologist, will be in within the next break, and she'll give you the updates as soon as we can. But I'll give you a quick update right now. You're going to see snow with a mix of rain tonight. It's going to be pretty cold, a high of 35. It depends on where you are from in the north or the south. It's going to be either a little bit wet and rainy, or you're going to see a few more snow flurries, but it's going to be generally less. You're going to have about an inch towards I-70. It's going to be mainly rain, and to the south, you're going to see about 1 to 3 inches of rain near the north of US 22, especially if you're in the higher areas down there. But tonight, I think all we're just going to be seeing is a drizzle with some freezing rain. So if you're heading out, just be very careful. Try to stay in if you can, if you don't have anywhere to be. But tomorrow it's going to be a little bit cloudy and sloppy rain.
Continue on with just about the paying your dues and making this slow climb, even for someone who it takes years to get there.
Oh, it does. Yeah. So, yeah, as I was saying, if you're wanting to go right into that anchor role or even right into a reporting role, sometimes a lot of my friends, even in Steubenville, if a position wasn't open, they took a job that wasn't maybe exactly what they wanted to do, but they still got there. They put in their time, and that's what you have to do. You have to learn the business, and you have to start somewhere small. I couldn't imagine if I started in Pittsburgh and I was in a situation like that weather situation. Can you imagine here? You would get crucified.
I can't imagine. That would be so overwhelming.
That would be, I think about that all the time. I made so many mistakes in Steubenville, and because it's a smaller town and there were great people there, but they were more accepting. They knew it was a smaller market, and they've seen reporters and anchors go in and out. So they knew, it was a station where you start right after you graduate college. So I wouldn't have it any other way, having that experience of working somewhere as small as that market, because you really learn everything, and you have to learn everything if you want to make it far.
Oh, you really do. You've got to be a Jack or a Jane of all trades these days. You really do have to. Bring me to an average day at home once you're done with work or once you're kind of chilling out for the evening. What does Celina, what does Mac, what do y'all do together?
Oh, yes. Oh, I'm going to take you over here, Alex. I'm sitting
Okay.
on the couch right now. Mac is upstairs working, so we won't bother him.
Okay. We'll let him go.
Taking you to the kitchen.
Oh,
And
beautiful. Look at
Mac is my fiance, by the way, everybody. Here he is.
Oh, such a handsome, cute couple. Look at him.
So I would say our number one favorite thing to do is eat. We eat so much, and we love to go out to eat and try new restaurants. So we we are always eating together. That's our favorite hobby.
Pittsburgh's a good city for eating and finding good cuisine.
It's amazing. Just love to try new restaurants. There's so many good spots here and so many new spots. But really, other than that, or making a good meal here at home, we just love to sit on the couch here and watch a good movie or TV show.
What would people be surprised to learn about you? You're pretty open with your social media followings. What's something people don't know about you?
Ooh. Ooh, I already gave it away, but I was going to say, because not many people know, my one thing I always tell people if I get asked this is that people who are interested in working for the Penguins have said, like, how did you get into that role? How did you get that opportunity? But I didn't. A lot of people don't know I got passed over. So, because I just don't tell that to many people unless they ask. I'd never keep that a secret, but I don't know. So I would say that for sure, but maybe something else.
Well, maybe you can think of one. Let me ask you this while you're thinking maybe of that. On an average kind of day, what sort of things do you keep track of online? I mean, you've got a lot of people interacting with you. Does it ever get overwhelming having a lot of people reach out, or we saw you here, or maybe help us out with this cause, or why didn't you do this? You looked bad yesterday. Your dress was ugly. You've heard all these comments. What's it like? Is it overwhelming?
It gets so overwhelming, and people for the most part are so nice and so kind, and I want to try to do anything I'm asked to do, even if it's an event to MC. I love doing as much as I can, but it does get overwhelming, especially when the comments are nasty. And I get a lot of nasty comments.
Dude, people are so mean. They're just like, how bored are you? How bored are you?
So mean. It was actually in the Trib. It was on Facebook, and it was just a little blurb saying how I am not doing traffic anymore because somebody had asked about it. And there's a TV writer in Pittsburgh. He's great, Rob Owen, and he wrote about it. And then they posted that on Facebook. Oh, it was not good, Alex. And
No.
these comments, but
Oh.
it doesn't bother me much anymore.
Oh my gosh, well you're so well prepared to be thick-skinned, and that's part of this too. You got to be thick-skinned and let things roll off your back, I would guess.
Oh yeah. I mean, people can, and really, I try to just respond with a nice comment. And for the most part, I mean, people do get back to you and apologize, or sometimes they don't, but kill them with kindness. It always wins.
It does seem to work. They either shut up or they say, I'm so sorry. I didn't realize there was a person at the end of that account or something.
Exactly. Yep.
What sort of things do you like covering the most and looking up or looking forward to, I guess, either on PTL and your own, maybe social media side life? What do you like covering and putting out there for folks to see and consume?
Yeah. Oh, this is an easy answer. Food.
There's a theme here, Celina. There's a theme.
There is a theme. I'm raising you up on one more level here.
Okay.
No, for PTL, there's a segment we do called Celina Around Town, and it's basically all restaurants. Sometimes we'll do like a museum or something not food related, but I cover so many food and drink stories on PTL. That's by far my favorite. I love it. I love interviewing chefs and learning more about the cuisine at a new spot in town. Oh, I wish I could do a story like that every day.
I love that. How do you keep in shape then if you're eating all this freaking food?
Oh, Alex, it's been a rough year. It is.
I hear you. Look at the beard. I don't ever have a beard. Look at me. It's
A
crazy.
rough year though. I've gained a lot of weight during COVID. And even now, I'm like, it blows my mind because I do eat a lot, but I also work out so much. And I've been really going hard this year for the wedding year, and I haven't lost 1 pound. I don't understand. It's the food.
It's those Celina Around Town segments, I think.
It might be.
I want to touch on, too, for folks who see your last name, they're going to know your dad automatically as well. What's it like working at KDKA when you were there full time? You've always wanted to, you told me once, to work with Mr. Bob Pompeani. What was that like being at Channel 2 together?
It was so great. And like, even now, so when I was doing morning traffic, his shift is the total opposite. So he's
Yep.
3 p.m.-ish to midnight-ish, and I was 3 a.m. to noon-ish.
Complete opposite.
Like literally the total opposite. So we never saw each other, but we still have had opportunities to do segments together on PTL. We were able to fill in one time for David and Heather, and it was so nice to get that chance. So it's been cool having those moments together.
I love that. I want to talk more about, too, just kind of the overall media world and women in sports and stuff, because there's not a lot of women in sports who are promoted, I guess is the word, or out there, I guess is the word I also want. Talk to me about what you want to see moving forward in, the next 10, 15 years with sports, media, women. Is there a direction you think the discussion should go, representation should go? What are your thoughts on that? It's kind of a loaded question.
No, it's a good question. Well, even I feel like within the last 5 to 10 years recently, I've seen a ton of women in sports, and I love it. There's a girl I follow. I love her. Her name is Ashley Brewer, and she is such a good example because she was a swimmer. She actually worked. She did sports at the ABC affiliate in Los Angeles, and so talented. She's young. I think she maybe just turned 27, and I started following her on social media, and I was like, wow, this girl is really talented. She knows her sports. You can tell when somebody knows what they're talking about. And I was like, she's going to go national in a minute. Just somebody's going to pick her up. And she did. She's been with ESPN for a year now. And I always watch her on Sports Center. It's amazing just to see somebody so young like that, like take on this major role. She's just like one of my favorite examples. But even with the Penguins and seeing women in the NHL and working with all these different teams, there are so many women in the front office of the Penguins. I love it. It's like, I feel like this wasn't a thing like 15, 20 years ago. You didn't see all these women taking these powerful positions. So it's really cool to see when I go into the arena, how many are surrounding the organization.
That's awesome, and it's also it's so long, it's overdue, I guess. Also, I mean, the women have always been around, obviously, and it's so cool that you were able to kind of like take on a very active public role with the in-game host stuff. Do you miss that full time?
I miss it, yes. But hopefully, I'm still so thankful I could do that. So I'm only the game night employee, so I'll only work home Penguins games. But even now, because I haven't been back due to no fans in the building. Now we do have a few fans, but still not enough to get me in there. So hopefully soon.
I love that. Let's go one more time with relationship stuff with you and Max, since you touched on it before. You're getting married later this year, is that right?
Yes, we're getting married in the fall.
Fall wedding, so beautiful. Love that. Yes, let me know. I'll try to come. What sort of things do you see for your future? Kids, moving away, staying in Pittsburgh. I know you're a Pittsburgh girl through and through. What do you see 5-10 years down the road for you, relationship-wise, career-wise?
Oh, yes. Well, Mac and I both love Pittsburgh. We are from Pittsburgh. I don't think I could ever leave. I'm so close with my family and my parents. I don't think, and he's the same way. His job, luckily, has kept him here too. But I definitely, after we get married, I can't wait to enjoy married life, but we want kids, whatever that timing is meant to be, we are ready. 2 or 3, that sounds good to us. And yeah, hopefully I'll still be able to take on all these jobs I've been doing. What's nice is because I'm a freelancer, it's not, an everyday 9-to-5 job. And I do so much of the work from home. So hopefully that'll be an easy transition with the children.
Do you have, since you brought it up, do you have a dream spokesperson job for a company?
Oh, that is such a good question, Alex. Ooh.
You've got to have one.
Walk at Home and Armina Stone really have been dreams. The Armina Stone spokesperson role has been in the works for maybe 3 years. Like, we've been talking about it, wanting to do it, but I couldn't do it with certain restrictions at the time when I was doing traffic. So that really, both of them are total dreams. But if I could think of what is this should be easy. One of my favorite brands, like a national brand.
Yeah, like a Prada or like a, Kohl's or something crazy.
Oh my God. How did I not go right to that? Yes. I think I love David Yurman. That would be cool to be like
beautiful dresses. Yes.
Or yes, Chanel. If you're ever looking for anybody, I'm available.
I will let them know.
Afford a bag.
I will let them know. Birkin, we'll get a hold of them right now.
Send them a message, Alex. Send them this clip.
I have them in my phone because I'm just that connected. Yeah. Celina, it's been so great catching up and talking with you. Anything else you want to share to viewers, fans who follow you that you think would be, wow, that's a really cool sneak behind the scenes of Celina's life?
You know what, Alex? I'm going to have to share it with you. As soon as I'm able to get back into the arena, okay. I want to do a behind the scenes of what it's like working there, working around the players, being an in-game host, just a behind the scenes thing on my phone. I'll have to share that with you so you could post it here to your followers. Yeah. That would be cool.
I think people would really underestimate how much work goes into doing something that looks so simple, but going to do it is so involved. So involved.
Exactly. I know. And it's fun. Like, being at the games is so much fun, and it seems easy, but it really is a lot of prep. Yeah. People don't even think about that part.
Right. And usually if I was talking to someone I didn't know pretty well, like today, I would, research and have note cards and, figure out what the heck I'm supposed to say. But I kind of winged it with you because I know a lot.
Yes. It's so nice. I was just saying at the beginning of this, I haven't seen you in such a long time.
I know. I don't get back to Pittsburgh a whole lot, but when I do, you're always those crazy hours you used to work, and I was there on weekends, and so, yeah.
Well, next time, I'm on a normal schedule now. We're making it happen.
I love that. Well, Celina, it's been so great catching up with you, and you're doing so well. I can't wait to see what you do next.
Thanks, Alex.
Of course. And thank you all at home for watching here on Off Air with Alex. This is it for this episode. We'll see all of you next time.